As the human race continues to explore and expand the boundaries of technology, the question arises of whether or not the added convenience is worth the risks that come along with our increased dependency on iPhones, Google, and the like. As I introduce my topic, continue to note the animation playing, characterizing the climate of technology dependency that has been cultivated over our previous generations. The recent influx in the exploration of artificial intelligence's seemingly limitless capabilities spurs the foundation of my research, as the response to society's continued development of AI has been extremely polarizing. Many view the benefits to outweigh the potential pitfalls of AI. However, it is also a fairly widespread concern that artificial intelligence will transform the world that we live in, taking jobs from millions of Americans. All agree, though, that the technology surrounding AI is unquestionably radical, and its application is something that ought to be talked about and considered. Here's John Brown, Executive Chairman of L1 Energy, addressing this necessary questioning.
And we'd like to think about three trends that are really important for corporations to think through, and in particular, how their relationship with society is going to work. And they were, first, the ever-increasing possibility that artificial intelligence will change the way in which labor works. How do we communicate with companies? What actually do they do? Can they do things more perfectly, or will they become less human?
Throughout my project, I aim to analyze the economic externalities that may result from continued research and development with artificial intelligence. In doing so, I focused on a more concrete and empirical examination of whether or not AI is beneficial to the U.S. economy, ignoring the normative worries that are the root of many concerns with artificial intelligence. With that said, science fiction movies often act as a great representation of the collective social fears surrounding a topic, as is the case in Alex Proyas's 2004 film, I, Robot. The movie follows Detective Spooner in uncovering the USR's significant threat to humanity. The viewer gets a first-hand view of the slim margin of error when dealing with robots and artificial intelligence. The robots systematically go from serving common assistance to human owners to nearing social dominance and total control. Although the movie is rather far-fetched, the downfalls that occur in the film reflect the concerns of many of those who think humans ought to halt their development surrounding AI. Moving forward, I want to help decipher between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Artificial intelligence has been around for longer than one might think, and is the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages. Machine learning and specifically deep learning are both fairly recent, and focus on allowing computer systems to actually learn and develop new capabilities on their own. Here's a video to help illustrate the line of when AI meets machine and deep learning.
Like a human, a machine retains information and becomes smarter over time. But unlike a human, it's not susceptible to things like short-term memory loss, information overload, sleep deprivation, and distractions. But how do these machines actually learn? Well, while it may be easy for a human to know the difference between a cat and a dog, for a computer, not so much. You see, when you're only considering physical appearance, the difference between cats and dogs can be a little gray. You can say cats have pointed ears and dogs have floppy ears, but those rules aren't universal. Between tail length, fur texture, and color, there are a lot of options, and that means a lot of tedious rules someone would have to program manually to help a computer spot the difference. But remember, machine learning is about making machines learn like humans. And like any toddler, that means they have to learn by experience. With machine learning, programs analyze thousands of examples to build an algorithm. It then tweaks the algorithm based on if it achieves its goal. Over time, the program actually gets smarter. That's how machines like IBM's Watson can diagnose cancer, compose classical symphonies, or crush Ken Jennings at Jeopardy! Some programs even mimic the way the human brain is structured, complete with neural networks that help humans, and now machines, solve problems. Generations have long imagined the ramifications of AI, visualizing a society where machines seek revenge and wreak havoc on human society. However, the more logical and pressing question is, how will AI affect your job? Will it make your work obsolete?
In my search for applicable scholarly articles, I predominantly used two sources. The primary resource which provided me the best content was the Santa Clara University Library's OneSearch. Its ability to distinctively search for material directly related to my specific topic proved to be very useful. I also used Google Scholar, however, its user interface was rather frustrating and not as streamlined as I would have liked. The first article I want to reference is Brian Arthur's Where is Technology Taking the Economy? The abstract shares that the article discusses the impact of technological innovations such as artificial intelligence and the development of digital technologies on the workplace environment in particular and the economy in general during the early 21st century. It also examines how technological developments impact organizational change and productivity. Arthur captures the unique nature of economic morphing every 20 years or so. He claims that we are now deep in a distributive age geared by data, of which is a major factor in the future application of AI and machine learning. The second article I will reference delves more into the actual monetary consequences of furthering our development of AI. Brett King, Tyler Hammond, and Jake Carrington calculate the potential losses over the next few decades to be in the hundreds of billions in lost wages and hundreds of millions in lost tax revenue in their article Disruptive Technology: Economic Consequences of Artificial Intelligence and the Robotics Revolution. My final article, which I will share, is Emilian and Edith Debrescu's The Future of the Artificial Intelligence in Economics and Management. Their work ultimately explains that the economies around the world are still vulnerable to new shocks and are unprepared for the next wave of automation and robotization. In bringing together my research, I realized that the future of artificial intelligence and machine learning is very much a question mark. Many view the technological advancements to be an increase in convenience and productivity, which from an economist's standpoint is typically positive for GDP and general growth. However, the risk of lost wages and lost tax revenues is still very much possible. All of this is happening now. We are already teetering on the margin of AI accelerating beyond our capabilities, and no matter the potential economic benefits, we as a society need to consider the risks.